Alright guys, welcome to a special edition of Gibbs just rants about stuff for a long time, and for some reason, you guys listen. Well, this time, very important, the Season 5 to Season 6 roster shuffle. You see it all over Twitter, a lot of roster shuffle or shuffle icons coming out from a bunch of players. A lot of them are trolls, but I love how the pros just try and make the subreddit go crazy with it. But let's get into what I think is going to happen, and the way I'm going to do it is percentage based, like certain percentages of where players might land. Nothing's official, obviously, until Season 6 starts. Even if someone says they're gone, you never know. They might have to fall back to their team because they want to collect a paycheck. It's very possible. So, let's get into it on my fancy PowerPoint slide. Let's get it. First, we're going to start with Europe. Usually I start with North America, but I think Europe is way more interesting this time around. So let's talk about it. Now, of course, I don't know exactly what's going on in all of these team dynamics. Some teams I'm a little bit closer to than others. Some I just saw, obviously at the World Championship, which was awesome. But let's get into it. First off, the Scrub Killer Lottery. Who picks him up? Now, I think there's certain teams that he probably works better with, but for Scrub Killer's purposes, like, also, there's a thing called money on the line as well, where some teams might offer him a shit ton of money. It's very, very possible. So he might want to go there to, you know, collect some money. But he might want to go to a more successful team or a team that he thinks that he will gel with more. Now, obviously, like, I don't talk to Scrub Killer every day. I did talk to him a lot at the World Championship, but I don't know exactly who he gels with. I will just kind of guesstimate who I think he would go with. But I think he's the #1 mover here in Europe, obviously. Then I do think the Team Secret players, Tigre and Flame, both of them have a very, very good chance at moving up into the RLCS. Because they both played phenomenally all season long, and obviously Team Secret fell a little bit short. I could easily see both these guys on an RLCS roster next season. The other thing I have is Greasy, who was obviously a sub for Envy. There was talks for him to go to Vitality before the season started, and that didn't obviously happen, but he could easily jump right back onto the Envy squad, but we'll talk about him a little bit later. Mummy Snow, he's in the RLCS, but who knows? Maybe some other team, a better team, in quotes, wants to pick him up. And then there's players that I think might get swapped out, like Freaky, Devo, Maestro might leave, Farah might be kicked, Bluey, and all that stuff. So we're going to go down the list. Metsanoris, Siki, we'll go down the list, but let's get into it. Let's start with Dignitas. Now, I made these pretty simple, very, very simple graphics. I was going to get more fancy, but I'm Gibbs, and I can't do that. So Dignitas, 99%, this team stays together. They've won back-to-back World Championship. I think the only possible chance, which I still don't think is even a chance, but I'm going to put it down anyway just for fun, is 1%. Fairy Peak joins Dignitas in place of Turbo. I think that's the only move that could possibly happen, and I still don't think that will happen. But that's the only move I see, but I wanted to have some fun here. And obviously, guys, let me know in the comments below what I missed, because there's probably some players I missed. Like, I've been thinking about this over my vacation, and I wanted to make a video about it, but I've been a little bit out of the loop this last week. But I think I'm still pretty close on some of these. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, and let me know what your favorite moves would be. But we'll continue. So Dignitas, pretty simple. They're not going to change. But if they did in an alternate universe, it'd probably be Fairy Peak joining them in place of Turbo. Next up, Complexity. Now, Complexity, I think, is a weird one. There were some rumblings going around that maybe Metsanoris might get replaced. Now, of course, all these rumblings are just, like, complete rumors. Who knows? But then Complexity had a great showing once again, and they've always had a great showing at the RLCS. So I think that kind of dampened that talk just a bit. But I think 75% chance that this team will stay together. 20% chance Metsanoris gets replaced. I don't know who would replace him. I could see a Flame. There's Greasy, Scrub, Maestro. It would need to be like a goal scorer, probably. Or someone that can go more on the offensive side to kind of change their dynamic. I don't think they would want another defensive player. So that's why I kind of put these four in here. Flame has been doing a great job with his solo plays, like his dribble plays, which Complexity doesn't really do that much, and I think that could be like a great dynamic for them. Greasy is still a super solid player. He's like that ultimate team player that you could throw him onto a team and it would probably work out pretty well. Scrub, obviously, he's Scrub. And then Maestro, and I put a comma there because I was probably going to add more, but I didn't. Maestro, another goal scorer type player, just to help out on the offensive side of things for the squad. Which maybe they don't need that much. They are pretty solid on defense, but if they want to change something up because they feel like they just can't beat Dignitas with their certain playstyle right now, and if they want a playstyle change, then this is how you do it. Then I think there's a 5% chance that, like, Magnus leaves. And if Magnus left, it would have to be to something great. I think the only possible chance would be, like, Vitality. I don't think Magnus would leave for anyone else, but I don't even know if he would leave for Vitality. So I think Magnus would stay, but I felt like throwing it in there as well. Also, guys, these percentages are not going to make sense team to team. I'm not trying to, like, math it out here too much. It's mostly about the team, like, as a whole. But once I say, like, hey, 5% chance Magnus leaves only to Vitality, I didn't really put 5% that Magnus joins Vitality. You know, we're spitballing here. We're spitballing a bit. But I think if Magnus left, I guess Vitality maybe. And for some reason, if Turbo broke his arm, I could see Magnus leave for Dignitas, I guess. I don't know. Or Violent Panda or K-Dop. Who knows? But that's what I see happening. I do think the team will stay together. Like, if you put a gun to my head, I would say probably the team sticks together. But I could see them wanting to make a move just because they haven't been able to surpass it. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. I might even have, like, Metsonora's getting placed maybe a little higher. I don't know. We'll see how the offseason goes. It's a long offseason, probably. You know, probably early August, or I'm sorry, late August, early September is probably around the time when these guys are going to want to finalize these things. But they want to work through the summer together. So we'll see. Next up, Team Envy. 20% chance that this team stays together. Devo is likely out. Devo is most likely getting replaced. But again, who knows? It could bounce back the other way. But it's likely going to be Greasy, I would assume. I think Remco is probably like, ah, crap. Like, Greasy, I probably should have kept you on the roster. This was a mistake. To be fair, they did make the World Championship, so how much of a mistake it is, I don't know. But maybe Remco would want to try Greasy again. I think Mummy Snow has a chance to make it onto this roster, and Tigre as well. We'll see. Like, I don't know. Like, Mummy, he's played with Ignite before, so they have a chemistry together, so I could see that move happening. But I don't know. That's if Mummy wants to leave Servette. Who knows? I don't know. Like, Servette's one of those teams I know probably the least about, just because I've had the least amount of time to talk to them. So, who knows? Tigre, another possibility as well. I would say those are probably the three, I would say, but it could be anyone on that list that I showed before. Next up, Renault of Vitality. I think 5% chance this team stays together. Obviously, Freaky's already looking for tryouts on Twitter. So 90% Freaky gets replaced. Likely going to be Scrub Killa. Like, I think that lines up what everyone's thinking. Scrub is that free agent coming out. He has a lot of respect for Fairy Peak. Like, obviously, they play against each other all the time in 1v1s. And I think Pesci is that good role model for Scrub to kind of, like, mold him into the field. We'll see. But that seems most likely. And I think if Scrub doesn't work out, again, because maybe someone pays a lot, like maybe Envy or something like that. But again, I doubt it. Then maybe a Maestro or a Flame comes in here. I think they want I don't know, just more of an offensive spark of like creativity maybe. Because Freaky's a great positional player, but mechanics weren't his strong suit. He's still actually really strong mechanically compared to maybe some of the other RLCS players, mostly in North America. But maybe a Maestro, but I still don't think Maestro's really going anywhere. And Flame I just really like. I just want to see Flame on one of these teams. He really impressed me this season. And then 5% chance that Fairy Peak leaves. I talked about this before with Dignitas. Who knows? Maybe he leaves for them. Maybe he leaves for Complexity. But I doubt it. I don't see why he would. So the thing is, if 5% Fairy Peak leaves, I think that also brings Freaky back into the fold. Like, if somehow, like, late in the season, Fairy Peak's like, yeah, like, I'm going to leave. Like, I decided, oh, I got this really great offer from Complexity, or I got a really great offer from Dignitas, which obviously you would take. Then Fairy Peak will leave, and then Freaky comes back on the roster because they don't want to lose their spot. That's how that would work. So that's why I don't necessarily trust that, like, oh, Freaky's got no matter what. Because what if Fairy Peak leaves? Pesci and Freaky will obviously play together to keep their spot. So we'll see. I doubt it'll happen, though. Fairy Peak and Pesci are teaming up for the NBC Universal Open, and they seem like Fairy Peak and Pesci seem like good friends. So I doubt that'll happen. But I figured I'd throw it in there anyway. Next up, Flipside Tactics. I think 95% chance this team stays together. They've been looking great in the offseason. They're working out their issues, and they're succeeding now. So we'll see if that continues through Gnarly. But I assume this team stays together. I think 1% chance Cooksier leaves. I don't think he'll ever leave Flipside, but I wanted to put this in here anyway, because, like, what if? What if another big team wanted Cooksier? But I doubt Cooksier leaves. And then Mystic gets replaced, I'd say 4%. I don't think they would replace Yukio yet. If anyone was to get replaced, it would be Mystic, but again, very, very small chance. I think Mystic is great. Sometimes, like, positionally, he's not amazing, but it seems like it's been working out better and better for them as it continues. So, most likely, Flipside Tactics will stay together for Season 6. PSG Esports. Now, this one's a toss-up to me. I'm not really sure what's going on here. 50% chance that this team stays together. I think 20% chance Bluey leaves. I doubt he leaves, though, just because he doesn't want to lose his RLCS spot, unless, obviously, he gets a spot on some other team. But I think that's doubtful. So probably that should have been a lower percentage. And then 30% chance Farrah gets replaced. Maybe it should have been 10% Bluey leaves. 40% chance that Farrah gets replaced. I think if anyone gets replaced here, it's Farrah. Maybe, again, to get more of an offensive-minded, like, solo player. Like a Flame, a Tigre, a Mummy. Like, those three guys seem like they would fit pretty well here. But we'll see. Like, Farrah didn't have, like, the greatest season. And obviously the pros... At least some pros don't think extremely highly of him, as we saw with the leftovers booting him and all that stuff. Now, obviously, that didn't work out for them, and Farrah is still here playing really well. But I think if there's anyone that gets replaced, it's Farrah. It's also because I'm a Shawsat fanboy. I don't think... When Bluey was kind of going on his tirade after they lost and trying out with Greasy and Scrub and all that stuff, I'm like, I don't know why you would ever lose your RLCS spot and leave Shawsat. It just doesn't seem like that's a great idea. Shawsat is still one of the best players in the world, in my opinion. And I think it's a good idea. Like, if Bluey's really that mad, then maybe Bluey, Shawsat, and someone else comes in to try and change it up on PSG. So we'll see what happens with them. I think it's a toss-up if they stay together or not. Because also, they might not be able to get anyone that exceptional, so they stay with Farrah. Very possible. Servette. Now, this team, again, I don't know that well. So, I don't really see as much conversation about them, so we're going to try it, but it's going to be a little bit more loose. 60% chance this team stays together. I think 30% chance Mummy leaves if he gets a great offer. But again, he's in the RLCS, so it would have to be a really good offer. Like, it would have to be from another RLCS team that he thinks he can do better with. And then I think 10% Skyline gets replaced. I don't think they replace Alex, so if anything, it would be Mummy, Alex, and they bring on someone else instead of Skyline. But these guys seem like pretty good friends, and I don't know if that'll happen. So I'm edging towards this team will stay together unless Mummy gets something incredible offer. But again, there's a lot of those players. Like, a lot of the Team Secret players might take what Mummy can get, and then Mummy would then be with Servette. If Mummy does leave, I could easily see those Team Secret players that I talked about, Tigre and Flame. If one of them misses out, then they join Servette. That's likely what would happen. We've seen, I believe it's what, Tigre's been playing with Servette. So, there you go. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what's happening? Fnatic. Alright, I got 20% chance that this team stays together. I think most likely they have to make a move at this point. I think it's probably going to be Siki. Now, I think Snasky and Siki are kind of on the same page here of who could get replaced. I think, you could argue for either one. I don't think either's played amazing. Honestly, I would probably say Siki's been playing better than Snasky, but, like, Snasky's the face of that team, so I doubt, like, Fnatic wants to lose Snasky, so I would assume that, for that reason alone, that it would be Siki, again, replaced. And this is where I could see a Devo coming in, very possibly, because, again, he's played with Maestro before. Again, Mummy, Flame, Freaky, even Metsonoris. If Metsonoris somehow does get the boot from Complexity, I think Fnatic would be a great fit for him. I think this is also a pretty good fit for Freaky as well. We'll see what comes of it, though, from Fnatic. Like, I think Fnatic is the one that's going to pick up, very possible, one of those RLCS players that gets the drop just because they want that experience on the team. And then we'll see. And it'll probably be like a trial period of like, hey, we'll try you for a year or for a season, and then we'll see what talent's coming out of the rival series. But so I think probably Siki gets replaced, but there's also a chance that Maestro leaves. I don't know if he's going to get any offers from any of the better RLCS teams, so I doubt it, but it's possible. So, like, if Maestro leaves, then Siki and Snasky will stay together to at least, like, collect that paycheck, and they'll try and, like, replace him with one of these other guys, probably, and they'll try and make a run in the rival series. And I don't think it's as much of collecting a paycheck, necessarily, because, like, Fnatic would be very, very strong in the rival series with the two of them and one of these guys on this list, like, easily. So, yeah. Next up, Team Secret, the last team I'm doing for Europe. I did 10 teams here. I think 10% chance that this team stays together. I think there's a very good chance that this team disbands. Probably a 50% chance. And then there's a 30% chance only Tigray or Flame leave. So if only one of them gets picked up by some other team, then they try and salvage it. Then Tylacto comes back and tries to salvage it. And if for some odd reason Tigray and Flame both don't get picked up, then I think Tylacto gets replaced. He's working on school and all that stuff. So I could see them maybe trying something different. Probably 10% chance there and 10% that they keep Tylacto. So I think very likely, though, they disband. So I think both Tigray and Flame have a very good chance at moving up into the RLCS. But again, there's only so many spots. And Scrub Kill has taken one of them. So, and Greasy's up there too. So it's very, very hard. Like, I could see Flame or Tigray going to Servette. Probably Tigray. I still want Flame on an RLCS team, but if he doesn't, then Flame, Tylacto, and someone else will come into the mix. Again, it could be one of those RLCS players that got the boot. I could see a Freaky come in here. I could see a Devo to, like, give them a chance to make it back to the RLCS, because I think those players will still want to be involved, and that would be a perfect, like, place for them to be on Team Secret if they don't, like, get a spot. Even Sicky as well. Like this would be a very good spot for him if that does happen. Oh, I'm sorry. One last team, Excel. I forgot about Excel. My apologies. So, 30% chance that this team stays together. They're obviously playing in Gnarly, which I think really helped their chances of staying together. I think it was very unlikely that they stayed together until they qualified for Gnarly. I think 40% chance Marky leaves. Marky might just leave just for the hell of it. He might, like, who knows? Maybe he'll try some other team in the rival series to try and make a move. I don't think he can... Like, he has a chance of making it to an RLCS team, but he can join some other rival series team and play there. So I think Marky, there's a chance he leaves. And then I think 20% chance Pondex gets replaced. And then who knows? Maybe even Niels Cook leaves. Again, it's very hard to tell with these guys, like, that the work ethic really hasn't been there. They even said before the Gnarly qualifiers that they weren't practicing at all. They were just like, hey, let's just play it. And then they did well, so who knows. But I think it's probably either Marky leaves or Pondex gets replaced. I still think it'll probably happen that way. Like, even though they qualified for Gnarly, because again, then you still have, another 2 months off or a month and a half off. So I could see that happening there. So that'll do it for Europe. Let's move over to North America. This video's been going for a while. I'm not even sure how long. But North America movers, I think the main get is Chicago. Then you got Dapper, you got Timmy, you have Hado, you have Chrome, and Son Sizzlechino, AJ, Epic Johnny, Miho, Matt. I think these are the main movers here. But we'll see. We'll get into why in a little bit. So, NRG. 95% chance this team stays together. I think there's a 5% chance that Fire gets replaced or leaves. Fire was very distraught after the loss in the World Championship. And obviously, like NRG looks great. And I don't think they should make a move, obviously. But if Fire is like, you know what, I'm done. I need a break. I could see it, but I doubt it. You know, it's like one of those, like, I can see in, like, an alternate universe again where he just leaves on his own. And then there's a thing I call the JNAPS factor. And if somehow JNAPS can get out of his contract with G2, that's where I could see Fire getting replaced. For JNAPS and JNAPS only, probably. Unless it may be Torment, but I doubt it. It's probably mostly JNAPS. Like, if JNAPS leaves, Energy, I could see picking him up. But again, the only way JNAPS leaves is if he gets, like, bought out of his contract. So I doubt that Energy would pursue that, but... It's also G2 doesn't want to lose JNAPS. He's tried to leave before and it didn't work out. So, and I think JNAPS is relatively happy at G2. So, Cloud9, 85% chance this team stays together. There's a lot of Twitter stuff going on between Swish and Gimmick. That's all trolling. I can almost guarantee that's probably trolling. But there's 10% chance I think Torment leaves. I think in a world where Fire retires, I think Torment would leave to join NRG if he could. I think that's where he would go. And I think it would fit well with that squad. He's obviously played with them before at DreamHack. So I think if Fire retired, which I don't think he will, Torment leaves. The only other thing I could see Torment doing is, like, joining G2, maybe for Rizzo. That might be the other option there, but again, very, very unlikely. And then I think 5% chance Gimmick gets replaced. I don't know by who. I'm just like if anyone's going to get, like, actually replaced, it would be Gimmick, but, like, why? I don't know. I'm just throwing a 5% there, just for the hell of it. Next up, Evil Geniuses. Okay, so I think coming into this World Championship, I think Chrome had a more likely chance of getting replaced. And then they did really well. So I think that chance kind of went down. I think it would have been more of like a 40-60 the other way. But I have 60% chance this team stays together. I think 40% chance Chrome gets replaced. If they can get Chicago, they probably replace Chrome. I don't know if they replace him with anyone else. Like, I put Timmy and Hato here as like just in case like Hato is more defensive, Timmy is more defensive. It makes sense. And maybe move Corrupted G back up into like a number 2 role. Sure, he's normally a cleanup guy, but I think if they want to maybe spark the offense more, like maybe move him up a bit, who knows. I think the only way they replace him, though, is with Chicago. Because Chicago can move up with Classics and have, like, that great offensive front line. And then have Corrupted G playing his same role that he's been so, like, successful at. So I think that's probably the only chance. But I put the other 2 names there just for the hell of it. Next up, G2 Esports. All right, 90% chance this team stays together. I think if they have another bad showing at Gnarly, though, that hurts their percentage to stay together. But likely they stay together. Like, I think there's a 5% chance that Rizzo leaves and joins Rogue. I think, say they have another bad showing. And again, I doubt it because I think G2 doesn't want to lose any of these 3 players. So even if they wanted to leave, they probably wouldn't be able to. But I could see Rizzo leaving for Rogue and then, you know, joining up with Sizz and Jacob and having, like, basically a meme team. And just like, hey, let's play for fun. We don't have that much pressure on us. And let's just make some content, you know? It's possible. And then 5% that JNaps leaves for, like, Energy or Cloud9. I doubt a Cloud9, no. Like, I guess that would be the JNaps factor for Gimmick leaving. Would be if JNaps somehow gets out of it and he joins Cloud9. But I don't know if that's actually better or not. So I think JNaps would only leave for Energy, probably. But, again, it's not going to happen because G2 is not going to let their players leave. Again, JNaps has tried before to join Cloud9 in Gimmick spot. And then G2 is like, no, absolutely not, JNaps. We need you. And they definitely did. But now, you know, Crow and Rizzo have been playing extremely well. So they don't need him as much. I think G2 can still strive without JNaps. Depending on who they get. Like, if JNaps did leave, say JNaps left, I think that's where Chicago would come in. I think almost guaranteed. Like, then Chicago would be like, hell yeah, like, I would join G2 over Evil Geniuses or whatever. Like, absolutely. So, if JNaps left and they got Chicago, I think they would still be okay. But not as good, but still probably a World Championship too. Next up, we have Ghost. Did I skip Rogue? I might have skipped Rogue. I don't know. Who knows? Like, maybe Rogue's coming up. Did I skip Rogue? I did skip Rogue. Okay, there we go. So, Rogue, 5% chance that this team's together. Obviously, they've already said that Insolences is gone, but you never know. He might have to return. Who knows? So, 95% chance Insolences leaves. I assume Jacob and Sizz will play together. I don't think Jacob has any, like, other offers on the table or anything like that. He had his choice, too, between EG and Rogue, and he chose Rogue. So, there you go. I think Chicago is a good chance here, but I would think that EG has a better chance to get Chicago. And then I would go with Dapper for Rogue because he's been playing with them a little bit here and there. I don't know if that's necessarily a good fit, personally. Like, I don't think Dapper's 3 play has been all that great. He has shown it sometimes with other teammates. So maybe he just needs other teammates to really shine, and maybe it's possible. I think AJ, maybe a slight outside chance here to leave FlyQuest. I doubt it, though. Like, I think he would probably rather be with Prime Thunder and Wonder than Jacob and Sizz. The only reason why you would do this is, again, because of money. Rogue has a lot of money. So, if they wanted AJ and then AJ wants to get paid, hell yeah. Go over to Rogue. Matt, who knows? Maybe Matt comes back and joins him. Like, hey, man, this didn't work out with Ghost. I'm sorry, Sizz. I love you. And he comes back. Maybe. Doubtful, but maybe. And then Hato would be the other player here. I believe he tried out last season for EG and didn't make it. Instead, they went with Classics. It was close. So then he went without a style. But I think Hato has a chance here. Maybe put him on the defense, move Sizz up. See if Sizz can start sparking that offense again with Jacob. Who knows? Or Hato can move up too. Like, Hato doesn't have to play defense necessarily. So, maybe. But I think most likely Chicago or Dapper. I guess right now, I think Rogue is the one that I don't know the most about. Of like, I could see a lot of people kind of shuffling in and out through tryouts throughout the summer. So, but most likely, Insole is gone, and they will move on to someone else. Next up, Ghost. 70% chance this team stays together. Every time I've been hearing about Ghost, they say they're staying together. Honestly, I don't know why. Personally, like, this is one of those teams where I feel like I think in Season 4, they overperformed a bit, so they made a move anyway, which I did like that they tried to make a move with bringing in Matt instead of Classics. It obviously didn't work out for a season, but I think they also need to, like, look at Zane. Personally, like, I'm very down on Zane, and I've always been. I just don't think he's a great, like, mechanical player. He's a great positional player, generally, but he's not a great mechanical player, and I think there's other great mechanical players out there that could play better than him. But Ghost probably knows better than me, but I would replace Zane. But everything I've been hearing from Ghost's camp is that they're staying together. 25% chance Zane gets replaced. And again, Chicago, like, Ghost has a lot of money too. So who knows? Maybe Chicago goes there. I think that, like, that could be a team that has a very good chance at a World Championship run, like, at least to make it to the World Championship. Then you got Hato and you got Timmy trying to add more defensive. Once again, like, Timmy, I think, would be the better defensive player than Zane. And probably Hato as well. So, I think I could see those three players going there. I'm not sure about anyone else, but who knows. And then I think there's a 5% chance Matt leaves. Somehow Matt leaves and gets an offer on some other team. He didn't have a great season, so I doubt it that he'll get any offers. But it's possible that Matt leaves for the 5% chance. I don't think Lethamyr is going anywhere. I think Ghost is, like, his team, so I doubt he goes anywhere. Next up, FlyQuest. I think there's a 90% chance that this team stays together. I don't talk to these guys that much either. Hopefully that'll change soon. But I think there's a 10% chance that AJ leaves. A lot of people love AJ in the pro scene. So it's possible that he leaves. But I did hear that I think he's doing the 2v2 with Moses, I think. I could be wrong with that. But the last time I checked it, he was doing the 2v2 with Moses. So I guess, like, I could see if he was doing the 2v2 with, like, an RLCS pro player, that maybe that changes things. But since he's doing it with Moses, I doubt he's leaving. So I got a 10% chance there. But I think a lot of people like him. And there's a chance that someone, like, offers something. Like, maybe a Ghost. Like, probably a Ghost would be the best fit for AJ. Say he left FlyQuest. But I still think he would rather stay with FlyQuest than Ghost. So, like, I think that's the big thing. Like, AJ probably doesn't want to leave. Unless, again, there's a lot of money on the table. Then maybe he leaves. But I would probably stay with Prime and Wonder. So I would think it would be 90% chance that this team stays together. Next up, Allegiance. That was a weird Allegiance. 95% chance team stays together. 5%, I don't really know. These guys, I have to talk to more. I really do. Let's talk, Allegiance. Let's talk, baby. Because I don't really hear anything out of their camp. They're relatively quiet. Like, at least from where I've been seeing. So I don't really know what's going on with these guys. I could see maybe Seabass leaving, but I don't think he gets an offer anywhere else. So I think that, like, these three players probably don't have as much respect as maybe some of the other players in the RLCS. So they don't really have any offers. So I think they stay together unless they want to try and replace someone. But I don't really know who they would replace. I think they're, like, a solid group of guys. So I would say that they would stay together. But again, why don't we just chat, Allegiance? Come on, let's chat. Let's have a conversation. Next up, CLG. I think there's a 5% chance that this team will stay together. I think there's a major chance that they will disband, 60%. Miho's looking to, like, retire again a bit. Timmy's probably looking at offers. Dapper's looking at offers. Now, if neither of them get an offer, I could see them staying together to just collect a paycheck. They will try and replace someone with it. And maybe, like, they can. If it's Dapper and Timmy and Miho really does want out, because he keeps saying, like, I think I'm basically done at this point, then they could pick up one of those other players that we've been talking about that didn't get any offers, like a Hato or something like that, and probably do okay. But I just put 35%, like, collects a paycheck, because they will just be like, well, screw it. We didn't get any offers. Let's just stay together. Let's play in the rival series, and let's see what happens. So that's what I think will happen with CLG. I doubt the entire team will stay together, and there's a very good chance that they disband. Next up, Out of Style. Very similar case, except I think when I say collect a paycheck, I actually mean it more, and I spelled paycheck wrong, so there you go. Check. Paycheck. 5% chance this team stays together. 85% chance that this team disbands, because obviously, like, Epic Johnny and Luchino don't really like each other that much, and Hato immediately said, I'm looking for a team. I'm out. Peace out, guys. So, I think the only way they stay together is if Luchino and Epic Johnny and Hato, if 2 of the 3 can't find teams, like, at all, and that would even be, like, rival series contender teams, because, like, they don't want to have to participate in the qualifiers, because, again, they're very difficult. Then they just stay together, and they literally just collect a paycheck. They never play together. They only play together for the rival series, and they literally collect a paycheck. Maybe finish somewhere around, like, 6th, and try and get, like, a couple dollars on their name. But sadly for them, they missed out on, like, some orgs, you know? They, like, I think they wanted to go more big time, and it just didn't happen. They never got that org because, you know, obviously with Justin leaving, that really hurt them. And they probably could have, like, settled on a more mid-tier org, but they didn't want to do that, so they missed out on a lot of money there. And, yeah. There you have it. That is it. That is all 20 teams I did from the promotion tournament through RLCS. What I think will happen. Let me know why I'm wrong. And again, nothing's guaranteed. Even if you see it on Twitter, we got to wait till signups for Season 6. There's always an extra roster move somewhere along the way. Remember when Jacob was with EG for DreamHack? I'm like, okay, that's locked in. Nope, that wasn't locked in at all. So, who knows? Who knows? It's going to be a wild offseason. Everyone's trying to catch Dignitas. Everyone's trying to catch NRG. And you're going to have to make some roster moves to do it. So, let me know what you guys think. And it's good to be home. And thanks for all the World Championship support. We'll have probably a World Championship actual video soon. But I came home on Saturday. I actually have to drive out to Long Island. And I was like, I just really want to make this video because it's been in my head for a while. So there you have it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.